All right, we have Casey Kenney joining us once again, and he's back in Abu Dhabi just like he had hoped. He's now fighting Nathaniel Wood at UFC 254 on Saturday. This is an on to the next one wild card selection that came true. I'm very excited for this fight. Casey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just finishing up a workout. I'm supposed to fight around this time, maybe a little bit before on Saturday. So, try to keep the training around the same time as fight time, and just enjoying another fight week here in Fight Island.
There you go, because you just fought on the island a couple weeks ago. You got a dominant win over Alatang Haley, and you were hoping to just stick around and fight the next week if you could. But now you get on this massive card in a huge fight with a lot of potential to get in the top 15. Are you happy with the way things played out here?
Yeah, of course. Next weekend would have been great, but honestly, this is probably even better. I just wanted a super quick turnaround, and 3 weeks apart's quick enough for me. And like you said, the massive card, the Habib Gaichi card, there's not a better card to be a part of really all year, I feel like.
That performance a couple of weeks ago was just super impressive. You had a lot of people talking about it. You kicked him in every legal place that you could actually kick somebody in a fight. And he just kept like shaking his head and smiling at you. And he just kept coming forward and taking all the punishment. Like, I know you wanted to finish, but is this a performance that you graded highly for yourself?
Yeah, I think I knew I was capable of doing stuff like that. Really haven't got the matchups that let me do that. And, I got to showcase, how dangerous and devastating I can be in there. And, I thought he was going to go away, but just to do what I did for 15 minutes, dominate somebody like that and, keep doing what I was doing is, a feat in itself.
What do you think has more like staying power? Because I feel like even though, you had the quick finish of Smolka and people were buzzing about it, but I feel like you got a little more momentum off this win just getting a decision. And I know every fighter wants to go in there, punch the clock real quick and get out. But which one do you think kind of caught people's attention more? The quick win over Smolka or 15 minutes of just pure domination like you had a couple weeks ago?
I think this last one did, as far as like the way my social media came about and just, the buzz that I've got around, coming back to a fight week and making this quick turnaround is, something that everybody wants to do. Everybody thinks they want to do. And then until you actually do it, there's only a handful of guys that will actually do it. So I think a little bit of both, jumping out of the cage, demanding another fight, and then, kind of it coming true. So, and just the damage that I put upon Alatang, that's something that you got to respect, no matter who you are. And when you're watching that, the fight fans, even myself, they want to see some damage done to somebody when a fight's happening. And I thought Smolka was a pretty flawless performance, but this Alatang one, it really set who I am, I think, in there. Like, I'm going to come to kick your ass for 15 minutes if you survive. And I've been saying that for a little while. Like, if you fight me, the way I want you to fight, or just fight me and not try to hump my leg, you're either going to go away or it's going to be a hell of a fight.
So you fight on the Saturday, you get the win, you fly home Sunday, and then we start to hear rumblings that this fight with Nathaniel Wood at UFC 254 is a thing. And unfortunately, I had to be that guy to kind of debunk those talks like hours later, because I was told via both sides that nothing was to these rumblings at that time. Turned out a couple of days later, pen goes to paper and the fight is signed at a catchweight 140 pounds. So from the time you started getting tagged on these Twitter posts that you're fighting at UFC 254 to the time pen actually goes to paper, like, when did you find out this was officially a thing?
I knew about it before I left the island. I had said yes before I left the island. He was kind of shaky about it. Like, that's why we're at 140. He wouldn't take the fight at 35. So it took a few days to negotiate and actually get that pen on paper. But I got the text of, do you want this fight, before I left the island? And I had the option to stay on the island too, but 30 days on the island. Like, I like this place, but 30 days on the island is a little much. I wanted to go home, reset, get a quick little training camp in, make some adjustments. Not a whole lot of stuff really, but just kind of get back in the routine of training and do everything again. So I knew right away. Pen to paper didn't come a little bit later, and I think that was more on his side.
So how did you react to getting Nathaniel? Because I mean, this is picture perfect matchmaking, in my opinion, because you guys are right on the cusp of the top 15. You, of course, would be returning to the rankings, likely with the win here. How did you react to seeing and finding out that Nathaniel was an option here?
I loved it. I knew I was going to probably meet somebody like that here soon, especially, after the Smoka fight, putting on an almost flawless performance. Alatang putting on almost a flawless performance. And, I only got one blemish on my record in the UFC. So I knew somebody good was going to be coming, especially in such a stacked division. There's no easy fights from here on out, and I don't want any easy fights. A guy like Nathaniel Wood is somebody who's going to help elevate my game inside the octagon as well. Stuff that I know I'm capable of, but sometimes you need a certain dance partner in there to let things go. And as an artist, actually put it on the canvas. You got all these ideas in your head and things that you can do, but until you actually put it on the canvas, there, it's not really good. And I think Nathaniel Wood's the dance partner I need to really show my full game.
You touched on it earlier, but this time around, I mean, you still have to mess with the sleep schedule a little bit, but not like completely like you did the last time, because you're fighting on their local time, not ours. So it's not 3 a.m. or whatever when you actually walk to the octagon. Are you digging that part of this experience?
Yeah. When it was time, it was fight day, I had a motto all week: just wake me up when it's time to whoop somebody's ass. And, this time it's a little bit better. The fight day is going to be the same. If you're not awake and for fight day, you got some problems. But just the whole fight week itself, I had to train at 3 or 4 a.m. every morning. I didn't have to, but just kind of general stuff. You like to train around the same time that you're going to fight. So all fight week I was training at 3 or 4 a.m. I was trying to sleep, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. type of thing, local time here. And, you got housekeeping knocking on your doors. It's during the day. The sleep was a little off. This time I hopped on a plane, fell asleep and woke up, and it was morning in Abu Dhabi, and I've pretty much been on this schedule. So this one's been a little bit smoother.
Do you sleep well the night before a fight, or do you kind of have those feelings where you just can't wait? It's kind of like Christmas Eve almost.
I sleep like a baby. I normally get some, after weigh-ins and have some good food, and that's some of my best sleep. When I first started, I had a little bit of those jitters like Kid on Christmas, and normally, when I wake up that day, it definitely feels like that. But the sleep, I don't miss any sleep for a fight, that's for sure.
And also, now you don't have to cut those last 5 pounds, right?
Yeah.
You wanted it at 35, but still, you'll take this, right?
Right, of course. I told him we'd run it at 55 if that was the case. If weight was the issue for him, I don't care what he weighs. Me just, when I say I'm ready for a short notice fight, I'm ready to fight. But also, the other part of our profession is make the weight in the weight class that we are fighting in. Whether it's 10 days notice against Smoka or 3 weeks notice. He wanted the catch weight. No problem for me. I wanted the 35 weight just because it's what weight we fight at. I was ready to make weight again and do everything just like you're supposed to. But it doesn't really matter to me. Like I said, we could run it at any weight class. He's going to be the same guy in there.
Did the last weight cut go well, or was it kind of rough with everything going on, the time change and all that stuff?
No, it was good. Pretty much did exactly what I needed to do. Did the food and everything I was supposed to. The water cut went smooth. I've been cutting weight for a long time and not sucking down to flyweight, but I still got a little bit of a weight cut to 35 these days. And, I'm a professional at that as well. So, the weight cut went nice and smooth.
At least you don't have to do 25 anymore, right?
Yeah, that's a thing in the past, I believe.
So Nathaniel, obviously, he's been pretty solid in the UFC. He's 3-1. The one loss was to John Dotson. He's got a couple of finishes. He's coming off a win against a short notice opponent in his last fight, something that you're quite familiar with in your career. Have you been impressed with what Nathaniel has done to this point?
He's solid. He's well-rounded. To say that I'm impressed, not really. I think he's a very basic, well-rounded. He's solid. He does things very well, but he does the basics very well. Unless he's got something up his sleeve I don't know about, I feel like he showed most of his game, inside the octagon. I feel like I'm just starting to show what I have, in my bag of tricks and then in my toolbox for him. So that's where I kind of touched on. Sometimes you need a dance partner to let that go. What I mean by that is like Alatang didn't really have an answer for what I was giving him, and in a fight like that, if it's not broke, keep going to it. And if he would have made some adjustments, I would have made some adjustments. And I think that's where this fight's going to go. Wood's a little bit more higher fight IQ. I don't think he's going to be able to stop what I have for him. But if he does make some adjustments in the fight, I'm ready to make some more adjustments as well. And I think that's where my game's going to open up a lot. So I'm excited for this.
So as we record this, it is Tuesday night where you're at. It's almost 10 p.m. Local time there. And you guys both spoke with the media earlier today as we were doing this. And Nathaniel came on after you. He said he feels like that your style is going to feed right into his. He likes the fact that you're exciting, that you bring the fight. But one thing that he said that stuck out to me was he predicts that within 2 minutes of the fight, you're going to be shooting for takedowns because you're not going to want to stay on the feet anymore. What are your thoughts on those comments?
I mean, let him think that. Let him think that. I have no problem standing and trading with somebody. We'll see what happens. But if that's it, if that's the case, then it looks like we'll have another stand-up fight, and I'm ready for that too. So wherever the fight goes, I'm ready. All I can do is laugh at that one.
How do you see this all playing out Saturday, right before, probably about 4 hours before Habib and Justin Gaichi make the walk and do the damn thing for the lightweight title? How do you get this thing done and maybe steal some thunder from those guys?
I think I put him away in one of the rounds. I'm ready to go 15 minutes, ready to break him in the later rounds. I'll put him away early if I catch him on the feet. I think he's going to be the one shooting in. It sounds like we both think that, so I guess only time will tell. But if he shoots in, he's in for a long night. So submission, TKO, KO, ground and pound, something. He's going away.
A lot of movement going on at 135 right now. There's reports that popped up earlier today that Marlon Vera is going to fight Jose Aldo on November 21st. There's a lot of big fights in the top 15 set up already. I know you just fought like 2 weeks ago and you're back on the island, but I assume, knowing you from all the conversation we had, that if all goes well here, you're not going to want to wait much longer to do it again, right?
No, I'm going to try to get one more in this year. I've been, Sterling and Jan are booked for December 12th. May need I wouldn't need a few weeks, but wouldn't mind having another camp for, the fight. In December would be a perfect date. But really, they called me for that November 21st card as well. I'd be down. So I'm trying to get one more in this year. At this point, I feel like I'm in a spot where I may jump into the rankings, but if not, just keep feeding me guys. Keep feeding me guys. Keep putting on good performances and, gaining a fan base. And, I'll be in those rankings climbing that ladder soon enough.
I was looking at the rankings earlier. I'm like, all right, what happens if Casey wins? Like, what would they do? Because I think you might sneak into the 15 or just outside of it. And there is one guy sitting in the bottom half of that division that is looking for a fight right now. Rob Font's sitting at number 11 in the division, and he's hoping to get in there by the end of the year. So I think time-wise, I think things line up. But does that one stick out to you as like a sensible next step if all goes well on Saturday?
Yeah, actually, when I broke into the top 15, that was a guy that I was kind of looking at, Like you said, he's been in the top 15, top 10 for a long time. He's a veteran in the bantamweight division. He's put some good guys away. Respect Rob Font's style, but that would be a great matchup for me. If he's looking for a dance partner on any of those dates, I'll be your guy.
Love it, man. So I might as well ask you, and I don't think I did, but if I did, I apologize. But I find it fascinating that maybe 90% of the fighters that I've asked this question to are rolling with the underdog here. Habib versus Gaichi. A lot of people think Gaethje's going to win. Do you agree with a lot of these folks, or do you think Habib's going to do it again?
Man, I like Gaichi, I like Habib, but I think Habib does what he normally does. Just for the simple fact, he's not going to give Gaichi the style of fight that he's used to. And I think that may throw him off a little bit. Not questioning Gaethje's wrestling at all, but, Habib is one of those guys that you know exactly what he's going to do and you can't stop it. And that's a dangerous man. So we'll see what happens. I really don't have a favorite in that one. I'm just going to be a fight fan and sit back and watch. But if I was a betting man, I'd put my money on Habib.
Fair enough. And this is kind of an interesting card because there's a lot of people with Arizona ties on this card. You're on it. Lauren Murphy's on it. I know she's a former teammate of yours. Jared Cannonier's on it. So it's got to be pretty cool. It's in a way, it's almost like being in the gym, but it's almost like a reunion in some ways as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I got to see Lauren. You know, Gaichi's from Safford, Arizona. So, Cannoniers, you know, I see him every day at practice and stuff. So it's just cool to be a part of that. You know, especially along with Jared. You know, he takes out Whitaker. I think he's next in line to face Adesanya. So just sitting back and kind of watching how he does things and getting to be a part of that. You know, and I got another teammate here on Fight Island too. You know, I had Kyler last time and. Yeah. We're rolling deep again this time, so it's a cool feeling, and I think we're gonna come out 2-0 again.
What is do you and Jared talk about crystals a lot?
I'm not quite into the crystals as like he is, man. You know, I'll listen to anybody. You know, that's just I haven't dug that deep yet. You know, I got my own thoughts that you know I think about, and you know, kind of like just you know jumping over the cage and asking for another fight. You know. Put that stuff out into the universe and it'll happen, but I don't go that deep.
We're gonna jump out of the cage again if all goes well and be like, give me December, give me November, whatever. Or have you already done that?
Yeah, you know, maybe I might have to jump out of the cage and challenge those full send guys to a drink off or something, and then we'll get back to fighting.
Oh man, Casey, always appreciate the time, man, especially just days before a big fight. It means a lot. Rest up. All the best to you on Saturday, man.